Talk to me, Doug, for phase one. What's taking place now? What should fans expect for the season opener, October 9th, and what things will kind of continue throughout the season?
Well, the good part about where we were is we played into the Eastern Conference Finals, so we played into June. The challenging part is that meant construction couldn't start until kind of the end of June, start July. On the fan-facing side, so we'd actually started construction February, March on some of the support work we needed to do on the arena level. So blowing out sections and seats in the 300 level to put in the new view bar, that couldn't start till the end of June. So they've made a lot of progress, but you're still going to see a big tarp when you come in on October 9th over that area as they're still kind of working through everything. But the 300 level is getting really the first makeover it's had in 25, 26 years. So obvious paint and touch-ups there, but more women's restrooms are being added. 2 new concessions are coming up, and it's going to be interesting because there will be a stretch where our nicest stuff is on the 300 level until we start to redo the main level. 2 huge concession areas that are kind of walk in, likely scan card, grab what you want and go. So again, speed of service, speed of use being focal points, but also variety. The one that we have on the south end of the main con is our most visited and used concession stand. So think of that with hot foods and bigger, 2 different places on the 300 level. So that won't be there opening night, but it'll be there some point in the early season.
It might be a Christmas present for Katie.
Yeah, when you guys leave, I've got to go back and do more jackhammering and put my hard hat back on. But it has been a fun project. So I think excited to see what's happening at 300 level. And then on the arena level, we've talked a lot about the new Lenovo Legend Club, be the highest end club that we have in the building. The 6 bunker suites really transforms that area. What I'm excited about there, we've never had fans down on game day in that area. So where the Legend Club and where the bunker suites are in between our locker room and the visiting team locker room. So you'll be in the action. Your seats are on the glass. I can't wait to get those spaces open, but my hard hat is still in use on those spaces too.
A man of many hats, and the hard hat is currently still being used.
The cool thing is, though, it has my name on it. Means you're official, and it has my safety vest inside, so it's always ready.
A couple smudges. It's been used. Doug's been going to work.
Game used hard hat.
I think Doug's going to need to wear that and sound the siren for when they're finally completed on that day when they're open, and you're like, all right, I can take my hat off and sound the siren. It's open for business.
Yes, there will be some bourbon cheers that night. We're all going to be pretty excited about that. But the fun part is, and what's we get to sit through these meetings every week. This is the first of essentially 3 phases. So the next 3 off seasons, we'll see some very major renovations to the building. And I'm sitting in an interesting seat right now where I can see what it's going to look like. And it's a totally transformed building, which really brings us into the modern era. And I think there's a lot, the next 2 phases that fans will see. A lot of the work today is kind of support work. When you get to the main con, club level, and then the exterior of the building, it's some pretty transformative stuff.
So that's what's going on inside. The parking lot outside right now is tame, but based on Brian's press conference a couple months ago, you mentioned that you guys are going to start tearing this up whenever the Wolfpack season ends. Is that still kind of on plan to happen, and what will that timeline look like to get the tailgating spaces up and going?
I think sometime shortly thereafter, kind of the early springtime, my office, Brian's office is next to mine. We have like the perfect look out to what will be a construction area. So this east parking lot, southeast parking lot, you get the 2 decks going in first. You've got a roughly 4,200 seat music venue that'll be co-partnered with Live Nation, and then another sports bar-esque building that are going to be the first things that are underway. So shortly after the Wolfpack football season ends, you'll see the parking lots kind of start to go under transformation. We do think that'll be after February. So we did bring back Premier parking for a lot of the season ticket members who had Premier parking up through the Olympic break. That was something we keep kind of pivoting on it. And what I'll give our fans a lot of credit to, there's been a lot of people who understand that there's a lot of this, as we keep saying, we're building the airplane as we fly it, that allow us to come back and say, hey, we think we can do this now. And they say, sounds great. We'd love to have that. So
I'm excited for it and the entire transformation. I'm sure you're both excited and stressed at times about it. But I think long term,
Yeah.
what you mentioned the first time you were on the pod, you go to your places, Nashville's, Columbus, you name it, that everything's right there. That's what you guys want to make this in the long term.
Well, think about too where we sit in the triangle. It is perfectly positioned that if you looked out here and you see a Live Nation venue, you've got NC State football, you've got NC State basketball, you got the Canes, then you're going to put a nice high-end hotel, mixed-use retail, apartments, etc., a huge office complex in the back. This area totally transforms, and it's right off of 40, so you're right at an intersection, kind of the center of our state. I think this becomes a place that you look at as a North Carolina hub more than just even a triangle hub, and I think that's what excites me. That long-term vision is cool.
They're gonna have to run some light rails around here. Everyone's gonna want to come here and get as close and easy access as possible.
Man, that is for you guys to decide. I'm not.
Cats with the DOT apparently.
No, I'm just saying. No, these are just
Dear
thoughts.
DOT, can you take care of our signs first, please?
Hey, I don't have a problem with them. I know where I'm going. For years of seeing. Listen, I remember with the change from RBC to PNC and now Lenovo, so I'm so used to they're all leading me to the same place. I don't need to plug in directions.
At three-letter acronyms for a while. ESA, RBC, PNC. Lenovo really changed it up, which is good.
Your nickname, the Lenny, outstanding. Quick question for you though: where'd you come up with that? Was that off the top of your head, or someone else gave that to you?
No, so other people have said it, and Lenovo has been really fun to work with. I think they like that people want to make nicknames out of it. There are some groups that don't want to. They want to make sure it's their name. They paid for their branding. But Lenovo's got a fun leadership group, and they're like, oh, the Lenny, yeah, that's great. I think Linson was another one that was kind of popular for a bit. I think they preferred Lenny, but it's fun.
Linson didn't really shorten it. Lenny's fun.
Lenny's
the best.
Lenny's good.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see all the different changes. Again, some of the changes in here where we're sitting, I'm mostly just going to be watching and seeing all the different changes. It doesn't impact, but when this construction out here, that's where we typically park. So that one is where I'm going to be like, all right, we're really in the thick of it. I'm ready to see what they do here. Because again, I love being here, and I know all the fans love being here. And it's, again, with all these changes, we're still going to be the loudest house in the NHL. Nothing's going to change about that. We're still going to come out, support the boys, but get a little bit more respect around the league. Be like, hey, all right, we're gonna step up. We've already stepped up with how we play. We stepped up with where we are in the standings every year, but we're gonna step up the amenities as well for our fans, because that's what you guys are all about. Is really, again, the community.
Well, and I think there's part of that too, where we want to represent the region. And I kind of joked about it before, but when visiting teams would fly in early on, if you fly in at RDU, if you stay at the Umstead and you come to the rink, you see two exits, right? You see a lot of pine trees. I'd always get this response from people like, Raleigh's so green. And you're like, well, one, that's great, right? We love that Raleigh's so green. But I think the balance, I think that's what we all think of Raleigh and the Triangle about is it has big city amenities. It has a small town feel, right? I think that's the draw for a lot of people. And I think we have to make sure everybody sees the big city amenities, because if you just went RDU, Umstead here, you're like, I saw more cows than buildings.
You're like, was it an insult when you told me it's so green?
Well, that was their nice way. When you dug in, that line that I just
Southern
said.
Hockey, it's so green here. You guys, you know what buildings are.
The line of I saw more cows than buildings has been told to me more than one time by opposing fans. And listen, again, that's not a knock, but I think the beauty of what will happen here is that you kind of have that blend of the tailgating and the parking lots and everything that will stay, and it's because we're building more surface lots too. That stays, but you get a blend with restaurants, bars, kind of a nightlife post-game vibe as well.